Welcome back to Dies Irae. Last time I think we finished the prologue and jumped 60 years into the future, and now we're here with a golden-haired guy and a black-haired woman. I don't know how to surrounded by hellfire, so to speak. Well, let's see. Then one crucial point, and that alone, that they were preparing to finally unveil to the world the supreme performance they had spent so many moons preparing. Now then, may the curtains of grand guignol rice? Grand G. Slaughter, butchers, massacre, till no more is left. Violate, conquer, and consecrate. Let there be victory. Let there be conquest, and thus... 神、これを欲したもん。忠誠こそ我が名よ。It is the will of God. My honor is loyalty. They would repeat the struggle as many times as necessary. They would continue fighting to the very limits of time itself. They had sworn to do so, and so they were bound to carry out this task. They, the young woman's recital of the holy crusade, was met by the priest's own blessings. And so, on that night in that forest, the legion that had vowed to destroy the world began to steer, unbeknownst to any. Ooh. Dies Irae, Amantes, Amantes. Verweile doch, du bist so schön, dass ewig falsche Zeit ins Bleibe. I will translate it later, if I remember it. Well, and that was the intro. I hope it doesn't get striked. Yes. So, we just finished the prologue. And I think these other stories are... yeah, they don't show up since I don't have them. If I finish this common route. Oh well, let's see what we got ourselves into. No, okay. Here you can see the routes. I don't have them, so I can't play them. But if you say do Deiko? Is that the name of the person that commented? Sent me a link to a guide, and that guy told me to not click on these since that would lock me on their routes, skipping some of the story that would come with a new game, and since I don't have the routes anyway, I have to start a new game. And you have to play them in order, by the way. If only time could stop. It was impossible to truly determine the single greatest moment of your life until you were looking back on things from your deathbed, of course. But I was sure everyone had wished for something similar at least once. It was only human to wish for fun times to continue, to want to relive a moment of glory. It felt only human to wish to hang on to here and now. Even should its brilliance eventually fade, that still beat losing it. The known was comforting, the unknown terrifying. Everyone must have experienced this sort of anxiety before, especially students like me. It was hardly unusual to experience this sort of feeling. After all, we were all at that part of our lives where we had to start thinking about college, getting a job, and just the future in general. We were in the uneasy transition period between childhood and adulthood, so it felt only natural we'd start obsessing with the mundane. One could call it living for the moment, a kind of escapism that arose when you didn't have both feet on the ground. For better or for worse, it was the sort of infection that didn't really do anyone any harm. You could just write it off as another facet of youth. Okay. But I didn't want to ever get over this particular strain of measles myself. After all, my life up to this point had been more than comfortable. It might have been a boring, commonplace one, but I was fine with it continuing that way forever. If time flew when you were having fun, then the solution was simply not to have fun in the first place. It was best to steer away from the unknown and stick to the default path. Who knew what sort of trouble you might encounter on the road less travelled by? I was enamored enough of my current environment to actually entertain, more than just entertain, in fact, a ridiculous notion like that. To turn one's back on the unknown and seek only the known, you could describe it as playing a game while looking at a walkthrough. That was my Ren Fuji's way of life. Always had been, and hopefully always would be. Oh, that's me after one playthrough of a game. Looking at a walkthrough and getting all the routes, especially visual novels. I hate spending too much time rereading everything. I figured that I could keep my internal sense of time set on slow if I kept up this line of thinking. Stopping time completely was impossible after all. So you could consider this philosophy of mine to be a kind of compromise, the closest possible realistic approach. I thought that I understood, that nothing lasted forever, that something being finite meant that its end could come at any time.
じゃあお前、例えば自分の人生を小説だと考えてみろ。
Okay, so try to imagine your life as a novel, up until the day where he had to go and say that.
漫画でもゲームでも何でもいいが、とにかく一人称語りで進む長編だ。自分をその主人公だと考えろ。
Hell, think of it as a manga or a game, whatever. The point is that it's narrative in first person. Pretend you're the protagonist of that story. A story that continues from the cradle to the grave. An epic saga that details each and every event and person that comes into your life from the minute to the monumental. Ugh. Think of life as something like that, he said.
そこで質問。今自分が綴ってる小説は実際のとこ面白いのか？主人公としてお前はキャラが立ってるのか？
Now ask yourself this. Is the novel of yours even worth reading? As the protagonist, are you an interesting, worthwhile character? As far back as I could remember, Shiro had a habit of suddenly going on and on about shit that didn't make sense like this. Most of the time, it was just to try to get a rise out of me.
文法が怪しいとか語彙が貧弱だとかそういうスキルのこと言ってんじゃない。ただドラマとして売りになりそうな花なりトゲなり毒なりを持っているか。
I'm not worried about whether or not your grammar's dicey or if your vocab is crap. Just if you've got some sort of bite, spite or spectacle that'll make people give a shit about your story.
さらに同じジャンルを囲った中でも抜きん出ている何かがあるか。
If you've got something to make it stand out within its
自分
genre.
がやらなくても他の誰かがやるような人生なら生き続ける意味はない。こんなところやそんなところで誰でもできるようなジャンルやっててもしゃあないだろ。
There's no point in living the sort of life that anyone could live. You might as well just not fucking bother if you're gonna go through the motions of a genre that anyone's capable of pulling off.
連れとだべってバカやって女作ったり部活やったり悪くはないけど珍しくもない。そんなの日本中の同年代がリアルタイムで経験してる。
Don't get me wrong, fucking around with your friends, joining a club, snagging a few girls along the way, and nothing wrong with that sort of thing. You just can't help call it unique. Kids our age throughout Japan are experiencing all that shit as we speak.
俺は別に数が多いことをバカにしてるわけじゃないぜ。要はそれだけ選びやすい道だってことを言いたいのさ。
I'm not just trying to hate on what's popular or anything. I'm just saying that stuff is popular because it's the path of the least resistance.
選択肢があるように見せかけて実は人生一本道なのかもしれないってな。
Like, maybe it only looks like life gives you branching paths when it's really just a straight line. In other words, what if we are not choosing but instead being made to choose?
少なくともこの国じゃ最大公約数が強いだろ。出る杭は打たれる、天才は孤独、
Sorry?
はぶられるバカ、いじめかっこ悪い。なんでもいいがよ。まあそれは現実的な解釈で理屈つけた場合の話で。
This country has a hard-on for the greatest common denominator, right? Nail that sticks out, get hammered down. Genius is misunderstood. Idiocy is shunned. Bullying ain't cool. Whatever the hell you want. 'Cause all that shit is just applying what I'm talking about to real life.
俺はなんていうかな。デジャブるんだよ。これ、前にもやったんじゃねえのかなって。
How do I put it? I keep having, what do you call it? Déjà vu? Déjà vu? If I use the actual French pronunciation. That's it. You know, the feeling I've done all this
楽しく
before.
ないんだ。新鮮味がない。前にも読んだことある気がするんだ。この話。だから、お前に協力してほしいんだよ。
It ain't fun. Nothing feels fresh. It's like I've read the story before. So I'd like your help. With what?
フラグ立てとフラグ折りさ。
With manipulating variables. Oh? And what was that supposed
言
to?
ってもわかんねえかもしれねえな。
I guess it might be hard for ya to
だ
understand.
ってお前好きだろそれ。何もかもが基地の範疇。1から10まで同じことを生まれて死ぬまで繰り返したい。そんな変人他に知らんし。
How did you two get to be friends? Okay. After all, you love boredom, don't you? Knowing everything in advance. You just want to keep going around in circles until the day you die. You're a piece of work, my friend.
そもそも俺の話に出てくるお前はなんかずれてるトリックスターみたいなもんなんだよ。
If I had to describe your role in my story, you'd be like the trickster sort of archetype. I could have said the same about myself. Shiro was the sort of guy who was impossible to read, impossible to get a handle on. He certainly wasn't the type of character who should have been appearing in my story, so why did it sometimes feel like he was a central figure in it? If we were going with the whole novel analogy, Shiro was a misprint.
そんなお前をここでどかせば話が変わってくるかもしれない。
Oh, and if I get rid of you, maybe my story will head in a different direction.
中をすんなよ。お前だってわかるだろ？
Come on, don't look at me like that. You get what I'm saying, don't you?
俺らはお互いガキの頃にいろんなもんから弾かれてる。本来なら気楽に学園ドラマやってられるような身分じゃないんだ。
You and me, we were dealt a shitty hand in life. It's nothing short of a goddamn miracle that we're enjoying a happy school life
そ
today.
してだからこそ今までそれをやってきた。なのにデジャブが止まらない。
Which is why I've been giving this whole normal thing a shot, but the deja vu just won't stop.
挫折もんだよ。泣きたくなる。だから根性なくて悪いけどよ。俺は抜けるぜ。もう付き合わない。
It's crushing my spirit. Sometimes I just want to cry, so call me a coward if you want to, but I'm checking out. I can't take this shit anymore.
人生は短い。エンディングが来る前に選択肢の総当たりをやらせてくれ。
Life's short. I just want a chance to give all the options a shot before I reach the ending.
この一本道、絶対どこかに別ルートがあるはずだ。俺はそれを探したい。結果がたとえバッドエンド一直線でも。
Foreshadowing for the win. Life might look like a straight line, but I just know there's got to be another route somewhere. I want to find it, even if it just leads me straight over a cliff, or to a bad end, as he said. If it's something new, then it's worth checking out either way.
だったらここでお前と切れるってのもなかなか面白いと思うだろ？
So, why not try cutting my ties with you right here now? I'd gotten sick of that grin on his face long ago. It was the sort of expression that seemed to say he had nary a care in the world. Fitting, really. That was how I knew that nothing I said would get through to him. Not like I knew that what he was going on about in the first place, really. But one thing was certain, Shiro's genre, or whatever, was about to diverge completely from my own.
死んだら化けて出てくれよ。
Come back and haunt me if you kick the bucket.
俺まだ幽霊見たことねえし。
I ain't seen a ghost yet, you know. So I was prepared for what came next. Fist fights normally can't go too far. After all, you'd be using your actual hands and feet as weapons. If they got fucked up, you were done. It only made sense to call it a draw when you ran out of ammo, so to speak. But Shiro and I were a little too stupid to let something like that stop us. You couldn't even really call it a fight. We were both just trying to obliterate each other, plain and simple. There was enough blood pouring down my face to make it seem like I was viewing the world through a red veil. We smacked each other around so much that our hands themselves broke. We even had bones poking out of our skin, but we just kept at it. My eardrums had shattered long ago. I was lost in a world of noise and violence. My shoulder had dislocated itself. My chin was split in two. My ribs were bent and broken, piercing various internal organs for good measure. And you're still standing and fighting? What? Here I was, taking up blood like I was going out of style, but Shiro seemed to be having the time of his life. I couldn't focus on anything but the way he exploded with laughter. Why did it end up like this? Why did he need to take it this far?
だから言ってもわかんねえって。
Like I said, you wouldn't understand even if I told you.
ただこの町に住んでいたら。
But if you stay in the city... What? I couldn't remember what he said after that, no matter how hard I tried. All I knew was that we continued brutalizing each other until our bodies ceased to function. It wasn't a matter of one of us deciding to surrender or passing out or whatever. We just quite literally ran out of battery. We had both taken too much abuse to keep our bodies going with sheer willpower alone. It was no laughing matter. Our battered bodies were just lying there on the rooftop, drowning in a pool of our own blood. We probably would have died if no one had found us. But what did Shiro say?
楽しいな。
I'm sure it was fun. Well, people, don't do that. Don't fight. But we'll see what this leads to in the next part. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye!